Disclaimer, I'm not encouraging, calling for, inciting, demanding, requesting, or asking anybody to go out and shoot it out with the ATF when that enforcement after 88 days or whatever they're saying is, right? So should the ATF come enforce it, right? And keep in mind, this don't affect me directly. The Second Amendment doing that's why I'm trying to help y'all out. Plus, as someone with a lot of people who legally carry around him, as someone who knows a fair deal about firearms and grew up around firearms, despite the fact I can't own firearms at this point. If I was y'all, if I was the 2A community, and the ATF was trying to subject me to enforcement, some of y'all not gonna like my advice I'm gonna give y'all. Hold court right there. Yeah, hold court in the street. And why do I say that? Keep in mind, disclaimer, I'm not inciting, encouraging, suggesting, asking anybody to go out and go do this. I'm just telling y'all, if it was me, the way I'm thinking of it. Because if you hold court in the street, right, and let's say they serve, let's say, do some astronomical number, let's say 1 million, because there's a lot of gun owners. There's 350 million people in the United States. 1 million being gun owners is lowballing. But let's say they serve 1 million enforcements on day X when they do that 88-day shit, which is, why not 90 days? Why 88 days? Whenever I see the number 88, all I think about is the fucking Aryans, bro. That's all I think about. The Aryans with the little 1488 tattoo. And if I remember right, the 88 is numerical for 2 H's for Hail Hitler. And so it's very strange. Hitler took the guns, and now these motherfuckers trying to do this, and they want to throw an 88 in there. I stopped drinking Rumble Mints. You know why? Because with tax, no matter where I bought it. Also, I'm getting older. I can't handle that 100 proof shit as much anymore. But no matter where I would buy Rumble Mints, and you know how Rumble Mints bottle look. I did a whole video on it actually on here. The last time I bought it, I went to 2 different stores, and both times a pint was $14.88. It was either a half pint or a pint was $14.88. To the point where I was like, that's not being done on accident. Like, I wouldn't say no that Rumble Mint's bottle didn't look the way it does, but yeah. So, back on topic. Yeah, the 88 is just weird to me about why that number. Why if it doesn't get back to in 88 days out of 120 originally subject to enforcement. But yeah, my advice is as many people as possible. I get a lot of people ain't got the heart for it. And a lot of ones that do is in my position where the ATF's not paying them a visit because they don't legally own firearms. So, as much as possible, as many people as possible, the more people that hold court in the street when they try to do enforcement, the better. Especially if they take a few of them with them. Yeah. Because at that point, it will put it like this, casualties, especially on both sides, and mass casualties. Like, let's say they serve, they try and enforce 1 million different, firearms owners, right? And out of that 1 million, let's say, at least 30,000. And that's even that. Put it like this, if 10,000 out of 1 million firearms owners, if it ended the same way 10,000 times, that's a failure. Even 1,000 times, that's a failure by federal government standards. If for 1,000 out of 1 million times, They shot out with the ATF, hit a couple agents. Even if they went out, even if they died, it was for the greater good. Because now at the end of that operation, you thought Waco was something? Oh, they're not going to be able to explain that to Janet Reno. They're going to defund the ATF right there after they do that. And then right after that, the Supreme Court will reverse the shit. But yeah, I'm not calling for violence towards any police or nothing like that. I'm not saying go out your way to cause problems with police. I'm not even saying if they come to enforce you, that you need the whole court in the street. I'm saying if enough people did that, honestly, even though it's the wrong thing to do, that was the whole reason the Founding Fathers wrote a Second Amendment. And if you want to get the ATF defunded, disgraced, and probably abolished, yeah, that's how you would do it. If just 1,000 out of 1,000,000 people that go to serve enforcement on that weird 88-day period, whole court in the street right there, and let's say 900, 800-ish wound up taking a couple agents with them. That alone would look so bad. It's not even a point where all 1 million people have to do something. Not to mention the feds and State Department of Corrections don't have the beds for all that right now. And the Supreme Court will eventually deem it unconstitutional. But that's going to take time. That's why you see the ATF doing this weird, they're rushing things to a point where they don't even realize what they're putting out as they're putting it out. Like with the 88-day, 120-day, first it says the 120 days, and if something happened within 88 days, it's subject to enforcement, right? You can just tell them they're thinking of this shit as they go along, because they know that the Supreme Court's eventually going to rule it inevitable. They want to move faster than the Supreme Court, because then when the Supreme Court have to reverse it, make it, put it like this, they think they can move faster than the Supreme Court, because they think that people are just going to trust them. And the more people that don't, and that show them motherfuckers through action, they're not going for this, and the bigger of an abject failure that potential enforcement is, because of the amount of mass casualties on both sides, that alone will bring so much skepticism and doubt to the ATF, they won't exist anymore. Because look, it's like, you said take the gun, so you went to take the gun. Look how much, 1,000 shootouts with the ATF in one day. Out of 1 million people, 1,000 people shot out, and keep in mind, that's a small percentage. Even 100 would look real bad. But 1,000 guarantees it. And I have a feeling if they try to really go and enforce the amount that is there, I put money on it at least 30,000 probably. Especially because we have a lot of young kids that been going out and getting legal fire. And they're not going to let them take that shit. I mean, a lot of 20, 21-year-old kids, you know what I'm saying? The age where you real, quick to, make dumb decisions that could really quickly end your life at age 20, 21. But anyways, yeah, so that's my take on the whole pistol brace thing and all that with the ATF. Whole court in the street. Whole court. Disclaimer, I'm not calling for violence towards any law enforcement, towards any federal agency, or towards anybody. I'm saying if they come to enforce that, my best advice I can give y'all is I would say if it was me, which is not me, I would hold court in the street right there. And bank on 1,000 other people doing that. Because they go serve 1 million, I promise you at least 10 to 30,000 gonna do that. Oh yeah. I remember seeing all these kids on the YouTube, bro. All legal shit. And it was all shit with a pistol brace, or what we used to call in my day a butt stock. Or a collapsible stock, or a folding stock. You know, or an adjustable stock. But now you can't call it a stock no more. You can't shoulder it. Like, the fucking ATF rules, by the way, are fucking hilarious now. You know, it's a good thing they took away my Second Amendment rights, man, so I couldn't even bring a prop gun up on here. Because if I could go out and get some of that shit, I would just be fucking trolling them rules. I'd be shouldering shit just to fucking put it on the YouTube. Be like, fuck the ATF. Yeah. But like I said, just hold court in the streets, man. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, you die. But you secured this country's legacy. You ensured this Subaru legacy of this country with Geico. I'm out this bitch, man.